So the Miami Herald just posted an article about me and this channel. A few weeks ago, the Miami Herald reached out to me to talk a little bit more about specifically what happened to me and my motivation behind creating this channel. I'll provide a link in the description so you could get more details about why I created this channel and a little bit of history behind my story. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing, because on this channel we talk about consumer credit, financial advice, and on occasions I go ahead and invite industry professionals to give you key advice and options for whatever your situation may be. With that being said, let's touch up on a few things that happened to me. Once I left the Marine Corps in 2013, some debt collectors, or a team of debt collectors, contacted me with my name, address, information, account numbers, very specific, which led me to go ahead and pay them on a monthly basis for 11 months for more than $3,800 or so. I found out that nothing was changing on my credit report. Things were very fishy, and when I asked them for validation, they sent me some kind of like Photoshop edited document that was gonna validate it. And that became a big red flag to me, and I decided to do something about it. I contacted a local consumer attorney, which in turn was searching for them, could not validate them, but yet at the end of the day we found those individuals and ended up suing them, and I won in federal court. And because of that, I decided to make this channel. I knew that I wasn't the only one this happened to. If these individuals got account numbers, social securities, and very important information that made them credible enough for me to fork out my debit card number and pay them, that can very well be happening to you. And in celebration of this article, I wanted to go ahead and touch up on a little bit of information, or a checklist if you will, on what you can do before you even consider speaking or dealing with a debt collector. So when a debt collector calls you over the phone, one of the first things you want to go ahead and do is get as much information from them. On occasions, they're going to go ahead and say, well, I'm recording this line. Well, you can record too. See what they feel about that. In addition to that, once they tell you, hey, we're calling you about a important business matter along those lines, is simply respectfully ask them, well, what does this entail? If they're not telling you anything, no information at all, go ahead and say, you know what, I'm not aware of any business matter, especially with your company, but if you do have something, my address or anything like that, I'm not going to confirm it over the phone, but just send me something to whatever address you have on there, and if I get it, I'll go ahead and respond accordingly. In the meantime, let me get your name, your mailing address, so I can send you something in the mail via certified mail, and from now on, I'd love to communicate via letter only. This is going to give you leverage, and it's going to give you, some kind of black and white proof or information about your dealings with that debt collector. Immediately after that conversation is done, receive a copy of your free credit report. You can get it at annualcreditreport.com, which is a website provided by the federal government that gives you access to 3 credit reports from Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. What you're going to go ahead and do there specifically is look for that company's information, that collection agency's information. And if nothing even resembles that company information on your credit report, then you know what? That's a red flag and something to consider when going ahead and send them something, or even dealing with them in the first place. Another thing you want to go ahead and do is, on that specific account, if they're able to admit, is look up the statute of limitations. And for those of you guys that don't understand, a statute of limitations is basically the time frame in which a collection agency can sue you for that debt. So for example, in Florida, and it varies by state, and it varies in the specific type of debt that they're talking about. In Florida, there's something, it's like 5 years, and after 5 years they've given up that right to be able to sue you. So there's no legal leverage, there's no legal obligation to go ahead and pay that debt. If they're calling you about a debt that is old or past the statute of limitations, then all you simply have to do is say, hey, look, this debt is past the statute of limitations. And usually what ends up happening is they'll stop calling you right away. Funny thing that a consumer attorney friend of mine, Kevin Deebs, I've made a video with him before on how to collect from the collector. You can find that video right here. Basically what he talks about is, on many cases or many occasions, he's gone to court, and credit card companies or some collection agencies sue and send summons to people to appear in court for debts that are way old or way past the statute of limitations. And their tactic behind doing that is to obviously scare you, because they thrive on the fact that you don't know what statute of limitations is or what your rights are and things like that. Because again, nobody advertises it. I don't know why, but hopefully through this channel I can get straight to you. And what they do is that they reason with you in a nice way. Say, hey, look, I made a few phone calls, I pulled a few favors, and I was able to get your monthly payments down from $200 a month to like $20 a month. Can you afford that? And you're gonna be amazed, and you're gonna be like, wow, thank you so much for that opportunity. The moment you pay $1 to that account, even if it's past the statute of limitations, what ends up happening is that 5-year time frame or that 7-year time clock or the statute of limitations restarts. And now they have the legal leverage over you. And if the amount is significant enough, what they can go ahead and do is now sue you, because now you've restarted that statute of limitations or the 7-year time frame in which that account can stay on your credit report, when all you had to do is still appear in court and simply tell the judge, well, judge, this debt is past the statute of limitation in my state. And what happens is that case is dismissed and they still can't win. But keep in mind, guys, collection agencies make their money on the belief that they assume that you don't know these basic rights or these basic informations. But nonetheless, if you do get a summons, if you get something from the court or from a collection agency, immediately contact a local consumer attorney to be able to give you some advice and run it by them. Most of the time, they'll be able to evaluate your situation free, and they'll let you know whether you have a case or not. In most cases, if there is a violation, if you have it recorded in some way or another, then you can win money from that debt collector, and you can now collect from the debt collector and have them pay your debt or put that off to the side. Another thing that you can go ahead and do is, after they send you something in the mail, what you can go ahead and do is send them a validation letter. And all that is confirming, hey, prove to me that I owe you this debt. Why do I owe you this debt? Even though you know that debt belongs to you, you want to confirm that you're going to go ahead and pay or deal with the right people. Once they send you something in the mail, look over it and send them a dispute letter disputing the validity of what information is on, whatever they sent you. The Fair Credit Reporting Act states that if anything is unverifiable, inaccurate, or incomplete, it must be updated, changed, or removed within that 30-day time frame. So if an address doesn't match, if a phone number doesn't match, if an account date or the last date of delinquency or anything along those lines don't match, then based on the Fair Credit Reporting Act, it has to be removed. And once it's removed, then it's pretty hard for it to come back, because now you have some leverage of how you can remove that from your credit report. And obviously, negative information that gets removed from your credit report just improves your score. And other than that, that's pretty much it on those terms. Guys, as you've seen in the video before, and if you've seen it, I've mentioned that I'm going to go to LA. And if you're in town, I'd love to meet you guys. Send me a message, send me an email, let me know if you want to meet, and see how we can sit together. And I'd love to meet you guys, provide some advice and some direction on where you can go. Other than that, thank you so much for tuning in. I wanted to share this with you guys. Again, check out the link on my article. Let me know what you think about it. And again, I want to continue to help you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for keeping it real. And until next time, I'll see you soon. Peace.